Okay, great. So welcome to our fifth weekly sync. We can start looking at the demos by Chamaka.
All right. You're welcome to today's weekly sync. So we'll just jump right into the demo. So which team wants to go first? They can share their screen and show us.
Yeah. Okay. So since we are issue 7, I think we will go first, me and Fatima. So I will share my screen to wait.
Oh.
Your video is back.
I changed the video settings. I think it was set to background blur and I turned it to normal and I just appeared.
Okay, so I already run npm start and we are a new user. So the issue is, wait, I haven't even opened the issue yet. Oh, it's closed. Okay, so as a user, I want to see a welcoming prompt to add a first item in my list. If my list is empty, to help get oriented to how the app works. So within this issue, we are creating a add button. We will prompt an add button if we are a new user. So in this page, you can see that we are new, and then we create a new list. And it will pop up an add item. And when we click the add item, it will direct us to the add page. So we can add a new list of items. And everything from here is working the same as before. We don't do anything more in this. And as for the code, I will leave it to Fatima.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, so we added a button first here on line 60 to 62. So on that button, we want to work with the event of clicking. So we added an handler called an add item button. So here we imported use history from React DOM so that we use it for navigation. So inside our add item button function, we just route. So whenever the user clicks, they'll route to the add page, because in our app.js already, we already have the add item routes created. So that's the code change that we did for the issue to work. So that's all.
All right. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward though. Okay, so are there any questions based on this particular issue story? None?
No, as you said, it was very straightforward. I just want to, congratulate on a great job.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So Edema, you can go.
All right, so I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, so we're supposed to make sure that we create a checkbox in such a way that if someone wants to buy the item, like if someone clicks an item, so the item is supposed to be purchased, and once an item is purchased, it should be reflected in the Firestore. So okay, an item that is purchased, it is assumed that the user does not need to buy that item again, at least for the next 1 day, that is 24 hours. So we try to implement the code in such a way that once a user clicks on the button, we first of all created a checkbox like this, which was one of the requirements. So we can create a checkbox or any other UI components that can enable the user to like buy the item or indicate that he or she has purchased the item. So we went with the checkbox. So once a user clicks on the checkbox, the purchase cannot check. So again, at least at the end of the day, once 24 hours elapses, so the user can be able to, the checkbox will go off, the user can be able to buy the item again. So I think that was, and it is working properly. Like this item that is there, if I want to buy it, I can click on this. Once I click on this, if you go to Firestore, okay, I'm working with this. This is my token. This Roost Busy Lopez. So it will send in the time I clicked on that item. It will convert it to these milliseconds. So and add it to my last purchase. So it will use it to keep track of when I purchased the item or something. So that is how the app works. And you see, as I've gotten the item, I cannot be able to buy the item again. But if I go to my Firestore and manipulate the time, so we use it to check in such a way that we want to check if it is working. So we can go there and like add the number of seconds in 1 day to our time that we have there. You see that the button will go from being checked to enabling us to still check it again. So that is how we implemented it. Once
we are losing you.
a user checked not to be able to still check the item again. Can you hear me? Even though the user was not able to, it was still remaining checked, but anytime the user clicks on this, the time here was changing. So it means that the 1 day might not end. So that is why we decided to disable the button immediately it is checked. So until 1 day, so that it can keep track of the first initial time that it was clicked. So that is the demo. I will have to go over the code. Then I don't know if we want to do that. I should continue.
Do you want to continue? It's up to you.
Okay. So this is what we. First of all, we have to iterate through the item. We had this already, so we had to use a map to iterate through the items. So we just created this checkbox. So the checkbox has this once the item is changed, so once we click on it, it will pick the item's name and pass it to this function, handle on change, and this is where we created it. So the handle on change it will take in the item name, and then it will go through our list of items that we have. So if the item name is equal to the item name that was passed, so it will set the last purchase time to the current milliseconds, the time we have in milliseconds. It will set it, and then it will update that particular document on Firestore. So, and after that, it will set our items. So that is what we did. So we also did the checked. For us to indicate if an item should be checked or not checked, we also use this handle purchase in last day. So this will return a true or false statement, true or false, to indicate if the item should be checked or not. So it would also take in the last purchase time in milliseconds. So this is where we implemented it. We take in the last purchase. So if we just created the item, maybe the item doesn't have the last purchase, we've not clicked on it, we don't have the item yet. So it means that what we have there will be null. So it should just return false. That means our button, our checkbox will not be checked. If not, we created the time in the milliseconds. This is just a simple calculation. We did this 60 times 60 times 24 times 1000. That is the number of milliseconds in a day, 60 seconds, 60 minutes, and then 1000 milliseconds, and then 24 hours in a day. So it will give us the milliseconds in one day. So we should subtract it. We should subtract the current time that we have minus the last purchase. So if it is less than the milliseconds, that means it is not up to if it is less than, that means it is not up to 1 day. That means we are comparing this. So this will return a true or false statement for us. If this minus this is less than whatever we have, it will now show if the item should be true or false. So that is how we handle that check. So which other thing? Okay, the same thing for the disabled. For us to disable our button, we also use the same logic. An item is checked, means disabled, so it's false. So we cannot be able to click on that item again. So that is the code. So now if you have things we did was pertaining to the last ticket. So we also resolved that issue. As in last week, the routing that used to, anytime we clicked on add item, that's on that one I used to send our token to our listing, our local storage. So we're not having issues. So we also resolved that in such a way that we can only set the local storage, the token to the local storage if
it exists.
Yeah. So if the token is not there, so we don't need to do that. So I had to remove it from here and just pass it in directly in the function statement. So that is what we did, and everything worked properly for that area. So yeah, it was no longer giving us issues there again. So if we come to, so I think that is, I don't know if you have any questions.
What about the little bug you faced yesterday night? You could demo it too.
Yeah, that is this initially. Okay, like initially what we had was this. Where is that? Okay, where's my list? Initially we had this.
Okay.
So it was showing this way. So, and it will not actually allow us to until, but the problem we're having with this is that if you come to Firestore, just look at this time we have here. Check the last digits, you see that it's changing. So we have 4614, right? We may not memorize everything. Let's just memorize the last one. 4614. So for the butter, so if you come to this place, in as much as it is not allowing us to buy it again, but if we click on it, you see that something is happening. So if we come to that place, see that it has changed. So that means our 1 day may not end. So
Okay.
we just decided it is safe. So that is what we implemented again in such a way. If you've gotten the item already, you cannot be able to buy it again until one day. So we decided to put this. So this is the last thing we put there. We pushed to it, and everything was now working properly. So now if I click this, you can see this 1265, it will not even do anything. So you cannot, that means it will start, it will keep track of the first time that it was bought, so until 1 day. So let me just do a little edit here. let me update this. You can do the calculation, multiply, but let me just come to this place and reduce this to 1. So I'm assuming it is more than 1 day. So if I update it, you see that it can allow us to buy it again. That means it has stayed more than 1 day. Okay, so I don't know if you have any other question or something.
I have seen that at the end you have used item name as the array index, right?
Yes, we were using index before, so we had to change it. Then I changed it, so because Chamaka recommended that it is better now, so I had to change it to item name. I think it is better. So in case you want to do something like this kind of thing.
Yeah, it really works fine. Your feature works very well, and there are no issues with it. All right, is there any questions with this particular user story? Dana, what exactly is the situation with, so yeah,
Sorry, I didn't catch you there. What did you say?
Yeah,
what's
we
the
lost.
situation with the merging? So it's not
I
yet
think it's
complete.
just, I think it's a copy on my local machine that's giving me the problem. I think Adema can do
Like
it on
your
his.
internet.
Yeah, he should be able to merge from his.
But Edema merged yesterday though into the main.
Yeah, that's maybe Fatima can explain because that's a different thing. No, apparently from
Okay,
what I read,
okay.
when she merged, it overrode our changes. So we have none of our code is on main currently. So we
Is
just
this
need to
going-
remerge it. But
Is
I
this
think
going
I
to
also
be
did
week one?
oh yeah,
Is
but
this
it's
going to be week one all over again?
yeah, but it's okay. I think it's actually pretty easy to fix. I was just having an issue on my local copy. So that's my problem. I think Adema can merge just fine on his copy.
Yeah, no problems. We'll probably like wait till tomorrow. If you're not able to do it, we might jump on a call and see what it is. It's okay,
Yeah, I'll
right?
try to fix it. I have to clean up some stuff on mine, I think. That's all.
Also, I have a suggestion, and it's I seen that there are some commits directly to main. So if you create a branch for anything you do, it's going to be easier to not have these kinds of problems when of overwriting and everything. So it's the same process. If you want to change something in main, you will create a branch for the change that you want to do, and it doesn't need to have a review or anything. You can share with the team also, but going to the pull request path is going to be safer now in a sense for that instead
But
of
are you talking about the problem that we had with
no in
merging?
general.
Oh, in general, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, in general. Yeah, because there are some commits directly to main, so
Oh, that was a bug that they found, and we had a discussion. Anyway,
it's only a suggestion. It's kind of safer for not overwriting or things like that. Maybe you can have you are not up to date and you are overwriting things. So
Cool.
hey, good work.
All right. So I guess we can go over to retro or issues.
I was thinking we can look at issues first day and do the retro afterwards.
Okay. Let me check. Okay, so let's see. For this week, we have issues 9 and 10. So for issue 9, we have, as a user, I want to filter my shopping list to make it easier to locate an item in the list. So yeah, the acceptance criteria for this is you need to display a text field above the top of the shopping list. And as the user types into that field, the list will do a search and filter and narrow to display only the items that are that contain the text that the user entered in that field. Also, when the field has text in it, the user should be able to tap in the UI element with an X, so you can clear the search that you already did. As also a criteria is that the filter should match the text in any part of the item name. So it's not only in the beginning and at the end. So it should match any part of the string. Okay, let's check the wireframe. Okay, so yeah, it's as always, this is the final one. We are only focusing on the filter items here on the top. So yeah, it's going to be this. For the details and delete, it's going to be another issue. Okay, so let's see. Okay, that's it might be interesting to start thinking a little bit about accessibility. We are going to have dedicated time for this, but if you can start reading a little bit about these kind of things for starting in implementing those good practices about providing feedback for screen readers. Here you have an example on how can be done, but it's in the wish list. We will have time at the end for working on that, but it's for you to start having on the top of your mind. Okay, so yeah, this is in the UI side is straightforward, but this has some challenge. So do you have any doubt about this? Nope.
What does it mean when the 1, 2, 3, the third bullet, when the field has text in it, the user should be able to tap a UI element?
Yeah, that means let's check.
To clear.
Yeah, if you start typing and you put something, in the moment that you start typing, you need to provide a way for the user to clear the search, either by in the keyboard by the delete or something that you can click for erasing the full text, like the typical X that you can see for erasing the search.
Oh, to erasing the search, not to delete the item, right?
Yeah, not to delete the item.
Oh.
It's only for sorry, no, this one. Yeah, normally it's an X. It's to clear the field. It's not to erase the item. Okay, so for the issue number 10, as an item, I want my estimated next purchase day to be computed at the time our purchase is recorded in the database. So the app can learn how often I buy different items. Okay, so the acceptance criteria is when a purchase is recorded, the estimated number of times until the next purchase date should be calculated and recorded in the database as a new field. So there is a utility provided, a function provided by the shopping list utils that is called calculate estimate. That you need to use that function to calculate that. And yeah, the field in the database is going to be up to you. So Uh, some notes you need to think through the data that is needed as inputs to the function in estimates.js. Sorry, that I think that needs to be updated. So it's not in estimates. Yes, it's you need to check in the calculate estimate function in that library. That note is for the previous version. So yeah, you should need to go through the inputs for that function and learn how to use that the output. Yeah, and you will need to say that you will need to accommodate the schema in the item to add a new fields required, and you will need to decide that. This is going to be used in a further history to do other things, but this is the functionality that this story is requiring at the moment. So, any question? Okay, so oh, it's not here. Sorry. Let me check the project brief. So this is week 5. So issue number 9 for Dana and Fatima, and issue number 10 is for Ayu and Fatima. So I will put the threads on the Slack channel later today.
Okay.
So time for retro.
Were the issues assigned to teams?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, thank you.
I just did that. So Dana and Fatima are going to issue number 9, and Ayu and Adema issue number 10.
Okay, thank you. So now we're going to move on to our retros. I just want to remind you that retros are a safe space to be transparent and grow together. So here we can discuss what went well, what we can improve. And of course, the purpose isn't to criticize, it's to give constructive feedback and improve what we can. So I posted the link in Slack and here in the Zoom chat. I already started my retros, and now I'll set a 10-minute timer for everybody to write the retros, and see you after the 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so the 10 minutes are up. Does anybody need any more time? Or are we all ready? Okay. So let's take 5 more minutes.
What do you think about some background music for this time?
We need some like the music in the elevators. That's very boring.
Yeah, that one. I haven't been in that building that it's so high that the elevator needs music, but I know they exist. Yeah,
Uh,
imagine going to a 40th floor or something like that. It's going to take some time to get up there.
It's very funny. The building responsible for the taxes here in my town, it's like the IRS, but the Greek version. The building is only 1 story tall and it has music in the elevator. And this is a classic example of the government overspending for something that's not necessary.
Okay.
By the way, if everybody's ready, we have another minute, but if everybody's ready, we can move on. Okay, don't see anybody objecting, so I guess we're all okay. I'll start by sharing my screen. And here we can see the retro board. And first of all, we'll start with the appreciation and shout outs. So Dana, please read your card.
Oh, I just wanted to say thanks to David and also Chiamaka for helping us out throughout the week and being really responsive on Slack and getting on calls. It was really great.
Thank you, Dana. And now for a demo card.
Edema is
Edema?
not here.
Ah,
Mhm.
he dropped. Let
Yeah.
me see. Okay, let's move to the rest of the cards to see if he joins us again. So I'll leave the demo for last. Now for Ayu's turn.
Oh, I was looking at the unmute. Yeah, I had a shout out for Fatima this week because we managed to have like at least a couple of pairing days to tackle the issue. And also thank you for David for the open office. It was great. And thank you for mentors for providing the time to help us out via Slack. And also the whole team for doing a great job this week.
Okay, thank you, Ayu. And Tim, welcome back again. Here is your card.
I think I had a little.
Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry, I had a little disconnection from this end. Okay, so what should I do?
Please read out your card for the
Okay,
appreciation and
for
shout
the
out.
appreciation. Okay, so this week I appreciate everyone, every member of the team. Like, I think everybody has been doing quite well and what has been there. So I'm especially thankful to Dana. Like she's been wonderful. So and and I also appreciate David for we had a very wonderful office hour. Everybody can attest to that this week. So I'm grateful and every other member of the team. So let's keep up with this tempo.
Okay, thank you, Dima. So are you read hers? And now it's Fatima's turn.
Yeah. Can you scroll down so that I can see my? Okay. Thanks to Chiamaka for helping me understand the user story better. At the time I misinterpreted it, and shout out to all the mentors for their time, and to my teammates Ayu, Edema, and Diana. Thank you for making the learning easy and smooth.
Okay, thank you, Fatima. And now it's David's turn.
Yeah, this is for letting you know that in office hours, the learning happens in both directions. I'm also learning from you, so thank you.
Okay, thank you, David. And now for Amaka's card.
Sorry, I want to say shout out to the whole team too. The collab is you're really working hard on the project and you're always eager to learn and to research about things, and to the mentors too for always being available to help things moving. So shout out to everybody. So far everything is moving smoothly.
Okay, thanks, Amaka. And now for my card. Thanks to David for posting useful articles and videos in our Slack channel. And from what you all said, you had great office hours. And to Chamaka for her great pair programming presentation, and then for posting the stuff in Slack. And also a round of applause for their troubleshooting skills. As I saw, they really helped a lot. And thanks to everybody for participating. I know it's not always easy to stay committed and focused, but you've demonstrated that you can, and it's wonderful to see you collaborate. And now let's go to what went well. Many things went well, I think. And Dana, please start.
yeah, I think it was really good that we all learned a lot working through the features. And also, I think we're pushing our working days forward, which is great. So we're getting more done beginning of the week. So
Mhm. Yep, thank you, Dana. That's very important. And now for Aigu's turn.
Yeah, what went well was our feature work, and I learned more about React, particularly about use history, because I didn't really quite understand about that before. And I was anxious to run through the demo, but I think it went well.
Yep,
Yeah.
it was fine. And thank you, Aigu. And now for David's turn.
Yeah. Congratulations. There is great progress on the app so far. So team is doing an amazing job. And I think that everything is improving. This week, the channel has been more noisy, that it's a great. So open communication is key for knowledge sharing and avoiding silos. So great work. Great work.
Thank you, David. And Demo's turn.
Okay, so it went well. I think we improved overall. So in our code, and so we were also able to identify some other edge cases and able to fix them, like and some things that were just giving issues beforehand. So we were also able to fix those things as part of in addition to our ticket. So I think that was really great improvement. So
Thank you, Dima. And Fatima.
Yeah. So we had enough time to peer review our code and ask questions about other things issue. So that went well.
Thank you. That's good to hear. And now it's Chamaga's turn.
Yeah, the features are working very well. The ACs are met, and the team was able to fix a backlog we had from last week too.
Yep, thank you. And now it's my turn. So time management and code quality is steadily improving. The app deliverables are on track, and we're on track with the Collab Labs timeline. This is a great achievement because it's not always possible to deliver an app on time. And also the app looks better each time and the demos are enjoyable. And lastly, our weekly syncs are timed better and we finish within the hour usually. So I think that's also an improvement. And let's check out what we can do better. Ayu.
Sorry, can you scroll?
Scroll like
Oh no,
downwards.
what went well? I think I went first, right?
Yep. Sorry. You can't see the card or you want to.
No, I mean I already went first for what went well.
Sorry. Yep. My mistake. We're moving on to the what kept us from making progress column.
Yeah. Okay, so I cannot see the card, or I should read it from.
Maybe now, or should I scroll down or
scroll up?
I think maybe your screen is frozen, Wolfo.
Oh, okay. Let me
Maybe.
just read from my screen.
Yeah.
Well, I think there could be more room for improvement in communication overall. It's all about adjustment anyway. And the first 2 weeks, I tried to establish a good or better communication. And honestly, it was a little bit frustrating for me, but things are improving and getting better now. And I believe it will be much better.
Yep. Great. Thank you. And yep, thanks for being honest and saying that it was a bit difficult for you.
What part of communication is not working? Because I also see that Golfo wrote something about communication. What are you guys' beefs exactly?
I think from my side, it's about all adjustment, right? The first 2 weeks, like we have like the first week we have a team partner, and then the next we have another one, and then the next we have another one, and then we all learn like to understand each other, like what we are expecting from each other and those kind of stuffs. But for me, I mean, like I feel the first 2 weeks of the communication is like I don't get updates as I expecting to be. Like for example, if I ask should we meet or something like that, and then I would get like an answer for the next day while already waiting for the whole day for an answer, or like an updates of what we're gonna do, and then what like how far we are doing things, and I didn't get that updates as well. So it was kind of frustrating for me, but I talk like one-on-one, and we kind of understand like what the expectation of each other at the end. But yeah, it was still like adjusting, I think. But now everything is getting better.
Okay, and for me, for the communication, it's stuff like, for example, you said that a branch was overwritten. Was this mostly a technical mistake, or not communicating with the other person that I'm going to overwrite the branch?
I think it was just a mistake. We
Ah.
saw the message this
Okay.
afternoon. Well, I mean, we're on top, like I think we're pretty much on top of Slack constantly. So I'm a bit puzzled as to how much better we can communicate if we don't use Slack. Is there a recommendation from your end how we should better communicate it? Like, how?
The communication improvement, it also includes me, for example, like, and I also wanted to ask you, okay, let's first discuss the cards and then discuss that, because that could be added to action items, how we can improve.
Yep.
Okay, so let's move forward a bit with the cards. And now it's Chamaka's turn.
Yeah, so I think we are getting better at communicating and working. Sorry, I'm working in sync as a team. And I also know that if we put more effort, it will get better. And I think that normally when people, strangers before, come together to do something, it's not always easy at the beginning. It doesn't always just start like that and then you start bonding. So it's really expected that there are some glitches at the beginning, but I think that we are really getting better at it. And things like even communicating with your team about the simplest and the littlest things are still part of communication. Like, I finished this, I just pushed this branch. Okay, I know that we've concluded on this branch, but I saw an A and it was not supposed to be there, and I included a B. I removed the A and put a B. All of them are communication. So, but as I said before, it takes getting comfortable with people you're working with to actually like open up, and we are going in the right direction, I think. So that's mine.
Thank you, Chamaka. You phrased it really great, what communication is all about. And for me, there's still room for improvement regarding communication. And doing things alone is quicker in the short term, but communicating our thoughts and intentions is more effective in the long term. And yep, as I said, I also mean this for me that, we should improve our communication. So generally, is everybody satisfied with the way communication is done right now? Do you, at all times, know what your team is doing? Do you feel supported? Maybe you need something done differently?
I didn't know there was an issue with communication. You guys are making it sound like it's sort of an issue we need to work on. I was under the impression everything was going swimmingly. So I'm a bit surprised that, on the one hand, everyone's like, great job and everything's wonderful and my team's great. And then on the other hand, you're telling me maybe there's issues we can work on. Like what exactly can we improve on? Like, what are the solid things that everybody can say that they want to see happen next week? Let's be concrete. So do you want to establish a timeline for responses? Within certain number of hours, you want to hear back from your teammate? Is that what it is? Or you want like a backup plan so you can work concurrently if you don't hear an answer? Do we establish some kind of like by default, if you don't hear back, just start working? Is that a good rule? Like what is the ground rules that we're all playing by here? Because I just by default, if I don't hear, I just kind of start working on something. So you're not doing nothing, and then you're frustrated, you're doing nothing. And then if you really don't hear anything, you just do what you have to do. So what is, like, maybe we should have a common default action that you would do if you are stuck in a situation that you feel like you want to do stuff but you can't. I mean, no one's holding you back from doing things, right? I hope. And I don't know, maybe that's the thing to get out and say, let's just have a baseline understanding of what can happen, in case of accidents, right? Because we can get hit by a bus and then you don't hear from any of us on Slack for days. It's like, is they dead? Like, what's going on? They could be, something could have happened. So maybe we should just, like have like a playbook, and this is what happens when nothing happens from your partner or something.
I think it's basically that. The problem is that it's setting expectations. You don't know the team, and so you don't know what to expect. So it's something that is going to be improving from now on. But yeah, I can you can set the rules. You can meet with the team and set the rules about that. That's setting expectations also. For example, imagine that we are not remote and we are working at office. Imagine that the four of you are seated in a round table or something like that. Imagine how was going to be the collaboration in that scenario. It's not possible, but try as much as possible to move that to the remote. So, for example, for me, that is being super verbose on Slack. It's like you are not sitting right. You cannot move your chair and sit with the other person and ask, oh, I have a problem here. But we can really move that to Slack. It's a habit and it takes time. So
yeah, but David, it's different working full time versus working,
also
like five hours with someone together. So you want to make that communication as efficient as possible. I don't want to spend 5 hours just setting up, time to meet. That doesn't make any sense, right? So it would make sense for people to, at one point, if they don't get the quick kind of communication they're looking for, to just start doing stuff themselves. Like, I'm not saying that's happening. I'm just saying that could happen, right? Because that is a logical next step. Instead of spending 3 hours trying to set up something, I can spend 2 hours just working and be done with it. So
yeah. My point was only to be verbose, as much as verbose as possible on Slack. But it's not only for communication, but also for sharing knowledge about. Yeah, you are working on different issues, and the code speaks from itself. But if you are verbose on Slack while you are developing, maybe there is no one, or there is no one there to read or answer at that point. But only the fact of rating something on Slack about the issue that you are working on, it can help.
okay.
Okay. Sorry. Then were you talking about after you've probably...
Sorry, I lost you there. What was that?
Yeah, I lost you too.
And then can you hear me?
Yeah, now
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, so I was asking about you fixed a time and then it does not show up. Is that what you're talking about?
Sorry, you have to say that again. You cut out midway.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I think what she's saying is not like, I think maybe you sent a message or something and maybe the person was not online or message online. So there should be a default. Maybe if this person doesn't respond at a particular amount of a given time range, maybe I should go ahead with what I intended to do. I think that is what then I was trying to talk about, right? That should be a kind of a default rule or something that she's talking about. Not that maybe the person you're not sure or something. If I got her right, if I got you right,
Need to
then
meet initially
is that
and then
what you
probably
mean?
delegate this. Oh, which kind of next one? This one.
Sorry, you guys are coming through a little rough, but I think you're saying like, we're talking about whether it's a good default strategy to just start doing something when the other party doesn't respond. Is that what you're saying?
I was trying to reiterate what you said to Chamaka. I don't know whether you got what I said was actually what you meant.
I don't know.
Did
I'm
you-
trying to understand what Yamaka is saying.
Yeah, Chamaka, maybe
Okay,
you can.
Chamaka was saying that she was trying to understand what you meant. She was like, I think what she understood was that maybe you had a meeting or something. Maybe one of the teammates does not show up. What should you do? So I think
No,
that's
no,
what
no.
she
I don't think that's the
understood.
case. I don't think anybody's not showing up. Actually, I don't have any issues at all. Like with me, with any of you guys that have worked with me, we've all been fine. I think the communicating. But I'm just trying to
So I was
understand
trying to explain to her.
when other people are talking about communication issues, what exactly are we talking about? I feel like it's like you're alluding to something that I don't quite understand. like, you know, we've worked together and I feel like we've always had pretty okay communication over Slack, and we always do face-to-face twice, 3 times a week. So what can we do to alleviate any potential issues that you guys are all alluding to, which I don't quite understand? That's all I'm saying. So Golfo has mentioned something about communication. You has mentioned something about communication. What exactly are you guys talking about, and how can we help? I think.
Yeah, I think okay. Maybe this information was not actually. Maybe they were not really okay for Golfo. I don't know for I. So for other things, maybe she really had much information about the amount of communication that has been going on or something, because I think we've been communicating very well with like teammates, personal messages, and on our thread, and also on calls and all those things. So I think on that area we've really improved. The only area I think maybe we can also look at is if there is any delicate something we intend to do. I also tried doing that. Maybe like when I wanted to push, we've already merged our tickets, so I wanted to push to men. So I know I could also do that, but I had to reach out to Chamaka first to like also get her opinion. And I think in that area, maybe there is something we want to do and we don't really have a full information of, like, and maybe it could cause problems. So we can also maybe reach out first before we do it to maybe to our teammates, or if our teammates have a sufficient information, can also get, if the person doesn't have, maybe we can reach out to other teams or the mentors, and if you have sufficient information, like if we are really sure, we can go ahead and do it. But if it is to other things, I think we've been improving on all those things generally on the communication line.
Yep, I agree that there's been a huge improvement, compared to the first weeks. But for instance, for an example of communication, like you've said that how long should I wait if the other person doesn't respond? I mean, this, something good to say in Slack now. To be honest, I'm not sure if you have already mentioned it, like, hey partner, here's what I'm working on. Are you there? If you don't respond, I'll push this change tomorrow or something like that. So I'm not sure if you've been doing that already, communicating your attention. So that's, an example.
Yeah, I think we do that in our personal messages.
Yep. So that's why we aren't seeing it. It would be a bit better if it happens in the threads, or I don't know. Maybe you're worrying that the thread gets too big and you can't find the messages, or I'm not sure, or you prefer the direct messages. It's a bit better if all this communication happens in the thread, so everybody can have the full picture.
That's a bit spammy, no?
Yep. So
I'm going to
That's
lunch. I'll see you in 30
communication
minutes.
Yeah, so
I don't know if I want to know what you're talking about all the time in your own
I was-
your own messages. I mean, I can't say much more because I feel like we're doing like from my point of view, like I feel like we're doing okay, we're doing fine.
Yeah,
So
I think that in that aspect, I just like what I said. Maybe since some of the messages are not on the thread, some of them are actually on the thread. So, but when you go through the threads from, I think we had some
But
very good amount of
also we can,
comments.
if you feel that the threads are, it's only a tool if you want to use it, but maybe you don't feel that useful at all. So if you want to do open communication without the threads, that's something that other teams in previous Collab Lab cohorts came up with, but you can, if you feel that you are being more comfortable without using them, you can.
no,
you
but I
can
think
do
threads
that.
is really useful if you do something that impacts the whole team or something you want everyone to know. Like, you know, if I think when we ask questions, it's good to use threads because everybody's aware of the problem, or when you're pushing something that you're not sure of, or anything that impacts everyone. But if it's like collaborating with your own teammate, I don't know.
Mhm. Yep, that makes sense actually. You know, that you know, it's useful for stuff that affects the whole team. So are we all done with the retro? Do we have anything to discuss? Something we want to suggest for the next week?
Do you see any action item you guys we can put there to review in the next retro or something like that?
Mm,
We as mentors always want more noisy channels because it's helping
Mhm.
a
Yeah,
lot
you
with
guys should post your Halloween pictures if any of you did anything.
Oh,
Just start posting anything that is going on. Just post anything, send messages. You come online.
Like seriously, like post your lunch or
to, like,
something, or
see.
like your view from your office or from your house. It's so boring otherwise. Yeah, I'll be posting random stuff. So.
Okay, then I give me permission to post my pets
Oh,
because
please do. Please, we should have a whole channel dedicated to cats. Actually, I think there should be a channel in this whole like Slack thing that they should just pure pet pictures, not just pets, but like I've seen people post like pictures of cats that, you know, when they're working, they see like cats from their like post anything, birds, anything, you guys, like alligators, whatever. I'll post like random like animal pictures for sure.
I agree that we should have a dedicated channel for
There should be a pets pictures channel.
Yes.
Seriously, yeah.
Yep. So
I was checking in the pets channel in my company. We are 265 people posting.
See,
Daily.
it's like the most popular channel always.
No, it's we have we have 600 channels. So
Oh, never mind.
yeah, it's any kind of hobby that you may wonder, there is a channel for that. And it's super for meeting other people, and yeah, because we are all over the world, you are also distributed. So it's, please post pictures about anything you do.
Yeah, like weird
And-
stuff, anything funny, like post it, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
let's do that. Because I only see your blurred backgrounds, most of you. Seriously, it's not very. That's like I see like one bag behind Fatima. You know, I know she has a handbag. That's all I know about her.
Okay,
Yeah.
but if you had to post, like, still at our TCL-35 channel, the way we are posting all these things you're talking about, imagine when we just posted something very important that will need the attention of every other team member, we need to work on their code, and maybe other messages now came in, other random messages, and it just came in, you could not even identify the
Maybe we
important
need like a random channel, just like
you
random
can't
stuff.
identify the important message again. That would still be an issue.
Okay, cool. So the action item is we should ask, you know, I don't know who's responsible, Andrew or something, to make a random channel or a pets channel.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. That'd be fun. Yeah. And then like I've seen people post like their food. That's so awesome to like learn about their food. And maybe you guys can post like what music you listen to and stuff. Because I just saw the other day there's like a really successful Nigerian rapper or something, like super successful. It was like on Bloomberg. I'll send you guys the link. Maybe you can tell me who he is because I want to listen to his stuff. Like I'll find the link. You guys can tell me if he's like really famous or not. That'd be really funny. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I think that will be fun.
Okay, awesome. So now we broke my card. I was saying that we usually have the weekly syncs on time, and now we are over the time by 10 minutes. So this week I'll be having office hours, and I'll probably be hosting them on either Tuesday or Wednesday. But on Wednesday I'll be available most of the day and evening. On Tuesday I'll only be available early, so we can discuss what you prefer.
Okay.
And David will be doing code reviews. And this is it for this week's Weekly Sync. Have a great week, and let's keep in touch. Thank you very much.
Yep. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.